Hi there, so it's Michael with another guitar lesson from Northern Ireland. I'm going to look at a technique called economy picking. So this is an often argued about and maybe misunderstood technique. The way I always think of this is sweeping and gliding across strings just in the most effort-free fashion for the picking hand, whether it's playing scales, licks or arpeggios. This really works well with what's called 3-note per string scale patterns, but I use it on loads of other stuff. More standard scale patterns and just licks in general. You can totally use this and all that. So this is the first thing I want you to try. Just mute off the guitar like that. We're not worried about anything at the minute over there. But let's have a look at what the picking hand's going to do. Now it looks kind of effortless and easy there, doesn't it? And it is now after, I've been playing for 13 or 14 years or whatever. So what we're looking to do is, as we change string, we finish on a downstroke and then we want to, what I call sweep and glide into another downstroke. We don't treat it as a separate pick stroke now. I'm playing the same picking directions there, but that's totally different, there's too many big movements there. Down, up, down, sweep. And that is a really good thing to just practice until you really understand this and until your hand really understands it. Down, up, down, down, but sweep and glide. And then let's open it up a bit. Let's do down, up, down, and then another down, up, down. So we're doing the same picking motions on both strings now. And what would be good to do is practice that going across all the strings, and you're just letting the picking hand fall through the strings. I always think sweep and glide. Now what happens when we come back? We're going to do up, down, up, and we're going to kind of reverse and fall through the strings backwards. And you're just pulling the arm back across like that. So when you go down, obviously we're moving this way, and then we're going to treat it as just reversing. And I always think of it as falling in reverse backwards. Okay, so up, sweep and glide into that next upstroke. And again, just practice this over here for a while. Don't even worry about anything over this side for the minute. And then you can put those two things together. Now to make this sound more musical, just hold down a chord shape, E minor, and then do the exact same thing and it will sound a bit more musical now. Okay, so the fun begins now. I've switched back to a more rocky tone. And then let me show you the first exercise that is not a scale just yet. It's just a chromatic exercise, but it will allow you to still think about the same picking motions over here, but giving yourself just a basic movable pattern to use over here. And it doesn't sound especially musical, but trust me, this will help you get the economy picking, the sweep and glide motion down. So simply what I want you to do is now we're going to add one note per picked note over here. So just play 3rd fret, 4th fret and 5th fret across all the strings like this. And now at least you're combining the left hand and starting to do a bit of synchronization. Okay, on to some actual music now. So let's take a 3-note per string G major scale. Let me just review the shape here for you. I'll play through it slowly, but with economy picking. This is important. You can do this slowly as well. Okay, so that's what we're going to work on basically. So let me show you how to keep thinking about things on the right hand whilst you're trying to, combine a left hand scale position now. So as you get to that first string change, okay, the first two patterns are the same over here. So kind of shift your focus from here over to there. You've got to really stare at the picking hand with this. And just do that for now. Sweep and glide. There's your sweep and glide right there. From the 7 on the low E to the 3 on the A string. And we don't want that to be a chord, we want those to be separate notes, okay? Okay, that's a good thing to do over and over. And then what I recommend is now add another string. So add the D string. Okay, and don't worry about speed just yet. It's more important to get the picking motions right and the synchronization right. And then trust me, once you really practice the life out of this, you'll be able to play a lot faster than you maybe ever thought, just by doing this basic sweep and glide motion, which when you think about in isolation, it's not actually that hard to do. So keep going up the scale in that fashion, just add another string, make the exercise a bit bigger until you're comfortable with the whole thing, okay? So let me just add another string for you here. So just add the G. Then add the B string. And then the high E. And then we're going to just practice reversing it, okay? So then we're falling in reverse backwards again. And again, the small chunk it as I would call it, just take 2 strings at a time, then add another, then add another. So up, down, up, sweep and glide backwards. And then add your strings all the way down. Okay, so let me give you something else to practice this on. Let's take an E natural minor, 3-note per string pattern, just from fret 12 of the low E. All the picking motions stay the same, it's just a different pattern for your left hand or right hand to practice. Okay, you can go through the same process, take 2 strings, add another, add another, add another. Now that might be more difficult because the pattern isn't as maybe nice on the fingers as the G major, okay? But obviously you want to be able to do this on any scale you want, okay? So once you've done all that stuff, the best way to get this into your playing is to mix it with the stuff you already know, okay? So find backing tracks on YouTube. As long as you're playing in the relevant scale and the relevant key, you can start throwing this in your playing straight away. So check out my backing tracks playlist. There's plenty of stuff you can work this on. What I always like to do when I learn new stuff is combine it with the good old minor pentatonic scale, the one that you and me probably know best and is easy to play as probably any scale, So what I mean is, let's take what we just did there, the E minor 3-note per string pattern, We'll do a bit of economy picking on that, and then just mix it in with some good old E minor pentatonic licks that you know quite well. So basically you're doing thinking and then going back to not thinking so much, and you want to keep that going on a loop to kind of meld the two techniques together so that it becomes part of your playing. Now I'm just going to finish up with me playing some licks and mixing it with the E natural minor scale, where I'm mixing economy picking just with my regular playing where I don't think too much.